Today I speak not just to explain, but to warn, to voice what many feel, but few have dared to articulate so bluntly. We are witnessing a gathering storm of outrage across the UK from the government's digital ID plan. This is not a technical debate in abstract. This is a fight over privacy, freedom, control and democracy. By the end of this talk, you'll see why the plan is already collapsing, how millions have mobilised in protests. Let me start by reminding you what the government means by digital ID. A government proposes a system where your identity, your proof of who you are, is stored digitally, likely on a smartphone or app, verified by state backing. A single credential that you can use across public and private services. Citizens will most likely register by submitting documents, passports, driving licence, proof of address, all fed into one central system, or a system of systems. From there you will get your credential, and whenever you need to prove who you are, you present it digitally. Sounds convenient, but convenient for whom? A single identity credential becomes the key to your life. Banking, welfare, opening accounts, accessing services. The government frames this as modernisation, fraud reduction, streamlining, but critics warn it's a Trojan horse for state control, mass surveillance and enforced dependency. Right now the proposals are in flux, but the outlines are there and the public is beginning to see the dangers clearly. Now let's talk about the people, the British public, who are not sitting quietly. Already the backlash has been fierce. A petition demanding the government scrap or heavily revise the digital ID has already gathered millions of signatures. This is not a fringe movement. It's crossing the threshold of national outrage. In newspapers, on talk radio, social media, everyday citizens are speaking out. People are alarmed. In focus groups, in public meetings, in constituency offices, MPs are hearing it. This is unwelcome, unneeded and untrusted. The scale of the petition is symbolic. When millions of people across the nation sign their name in opposition, the system is no longer just an experiment. It's a political crisis. The uproar isn't just from privacy nerds or technologists. It's parents, pensioners, working people and small businesses. Everyone sensing that the digital ID forced upon them is a dangerous power grab. Previously whispered concerns such as surveillance, government outreach, data misuse are now shouted on street corners, on social media, in parliamentary exchanges. We're not just seeing criticism, we're seeing a revolt of scepticism and anger. The public is angry, and rightly so. Here are some deeper reasons why the digital ID plans provokes not mere worry, but fury. It concentrates power in the state hands. One central credential means the government, or the authority running it, holds the master key to your identity. That's not just a neutral tool, that's a lever of control. Who watches the watchers? Who holds them to account? It threatens privacy and autonomy. Even if initial promises mute tracking and metadata, who logged in, where, for how long, is extremely revealing. Over time, that data may be used, sold, combined, or exploited. The public fears becoming data points in a system not accountable to them. It risks exclusion and inequality. Many people are digitally marginalised. The elderly, those without smartphones, low income thresholds, rural areas with spotty connectivity. For them, this system becomes a barrier, not a convenience. What if your ID verification fails? What recourse do you have? The anger rises when people imagine themselves locked out of essential services. Compulsion disguised as optional. Though the government claims it will be voluntary, the public knows how the mandate works. Once institutions such as banks, landlords and businesses begin to demand the digital ID as standards, it effectively becomes mandatory. People rightly resent being forced into a system under the guise of choice. The lack of trust and broken promises. The public doesn't trust many institutions to be guardians of their data, not after scandals and leaks and misuse. The government's assurances feel hollow when trust has been eroded. Opponents say, show me your architecture, show me your audits, your oversight bodies, your legal guarantees, before you ask me to hand over my identity. A dangerous precedent and a slippery slope. The anger deepens when citizens see this is not a one-off, but the first step in something much bigger. identity-based controls in more domain. Health, travel, policing, welfare. People fear being locked into a system that could evolve into something oppressive. Given all that, the anger is legitimate. This is about freedom, dignity, control. It's not just theoretical, it's existential for how we live. Why Starmer's digital IT plans are collapsing. Let's have a look at this and expand the case. Because of the astonishing numbers signing petitions, MPs are forced to respond. Questions in Parliament, demands for delay. You've got investigations, committee hearings. The government is on the defensive. The elements of the proposal have already been scaled back. The original bold claims are being softened. Qualifications inserted. Options introduced. That's a sign of retreat under pressure. Some local authorities or civil bodies or digital projects may now hesitate to integrate or commit under uncertainty clears. Momentum is stalling. The debate is now dominating public discourse. Every week, more articles, more commentaries, more opposing voices. The reputational cost to politicians is rising. The original boosters of the scheme are now whispering about pilot programs or voluntary trials, trying to rebrand and de-escalate, rather than just charging ahead with full rollout. In short, they are trying to salvage the plan by watering it down, delaying it, or burying the most contentious bits. The people's uproar is forcing a withdrawal from the line of advance. This is not just a mere debate. This is a political crisis for digital identity. Given the scale of public anger, how should we channel it effectively? What demands should we place and what pressures should we exert? Demand complete transparency. We must insist. Publish the full architecture, source code, audits, oversight regime before any rollout. Let independent experts review. No black boxes. No trust us speeches. Make it genuinely voluntary with robust alternatives. If you choose not to enrol or your verification fails, you must face no disadvantage accessing public service or private ones. There must always be a non-digital path. Legal guarantees and ironclad safeguards. Insist on statutory firewalls. Your digital ID data cannot be used for law enforcement, commercial profiting, or data sharing without consent and warrant. You need rights redress, deletion, audit, oversight, and strong penalties for misuse. Independent oversight and accountability. Creative, effective, independent watchdogs with power to audit, sanction and enforce rules. No conflicts of interest. No vendor capture. Sunset and rollback mechanisms. A law enabling a digital ID must include an automatic review, expiration dates, and the ability to dismantle parts if risks emerge. Let no digital ID become permanent before trust is proven. Public referendum or parliamentary mandate. For a change, this is fundamental. Let the people decide in democratic fashion, not behind closed doors. Let MPs vote with public pressure, not simply be railroaded. Mobilise continued public pressure. Keep petition numbers growing. Hold protests, town halls, media campaigns. Get politicians to feel the heat. We are at a crossroads. The government's digital IT plan, once a technocratic initiative, has awakened millions to a deeper stakes of identity, freedom, surveillance. The backlash is real and growing. It's not enough to just critique, we must push, demand and resist. We must ensure that identity remains under citizen control, not the states. We must ensure that no British person is forced into a system where their identity and very access to services, their data and their dignity is suspect to a credential they don't wholly control. The digital ID plan, as currently proposed, is crumbling under public pressure. Let us ensure it collapses entirely, unless fundamentally rethought under democratic, open, accountable terms. Our demand is simple. Identity is ours, not theirs. Thank you for watching. Comment below what your thoughts are and don't forget to subscribe.